Welcome to Dope Check episode 13.5 with Ace, the Stocksman, and the EU GOAT, Trey Zero. My guy Trey. We're here on a beautiful Friday, outside of our normal Dope Check hours, typically when the pre-show is actually, but no CDL matches today. How you feeling today? What's going on? What are you thinking?
Feel great, man. Feel great. A lot of drama, a lot of Rostermania stuff. You know, a lot of people in there want to know what the fuck's going on with all these teams. And guess what? We have all the intel. But we ain't telling you everything. Unless we get a slight deposit into our account. Like £1.5 million, because it's a lot better than the dough here.
I don't disagree, Trey. Again, someone drops a 50 gifted, I might have to give you guys some intel corrections. There's some things going out, some caca, but we'll hop into it very soon. Starting out though, let's start mild and then jump into the spice, right? You start with the mild wing, then you get to the blazing wings. Ranked play, right? We got 2 new maps introduced into the pool. They're being tested basically to get into the competitive pool. Vista and Departures. I played them for the first time yesterday. I have my opinions, but I know everyone more wants to hear from one of the EU GOAT. They got to hear what he thinks of these maps. Did you get a chance to play them?
I have. I played a lot of rank play in the past. Since it came in. Now listen, my first ever time on Departures. It was a trip. It was a trek. It was a marathon. Let me just explain this to you. That map is so big, it ain't even funny. That puts Drake's meat missile to fucking shame, mate. Oh my god.
Stupid.
If you think going forward dead on control was bad, you try going forward dead on that map. Oh my days.
Oh my god.
Also, what is it with this theme that keeps going around that we keep adding the same, themed map? No one asked for another airport map. No one. If I look outside of the window of Departures, I can see Terminal. I'm sick of it.
Getting PTSD from staring at it, but yeah.
I will say, shout out to them guys for bringing in more maps that they've actually made. It's not a goddamn remake from 2006. Like they're actually designing maps again. So
No. Dude. I saw that I was juiced. Not for these two, right? There was how you're in a party, right? You're in a party. There's maybe a group of pretty girls, but then the real prettiest girl is in the back of the group or she's behind them. That I was going towards the pretty girls, and then I saw the one and I was like, excuse me. And I saw the real pretty one. And that was Star. It was called Stars or 6 Stars or something. And it was basically Raid Part 75. That was the one that got me, that got my Drake missile tingling a little bit. That's the one that got me going nice. So I want them, again, if they bring Raid back again for the 15th time, I'm about it. I love that map. It's a great map. It's a great competitive map. They said there were some slight adjustments on it, but I guess if it's to make the map more competitive or to make it a little better, I'm all about it. Let's get Raid in all 3 game modes. I would love to see it in Search again, Hardpoint again, Control. I think it's perfect, actually. Revice, it's not an actual Raid remake. Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't think it's an actual Raid remake. And this was my point, because someone come in my chat, they were like, "Oh my god, Raid's coming back," and I was like, if Raid was coming back, they would have just brought Raid back.
Yeah.
We are playing a game that has 16 maps back from 2009. If they wanted to bring back a map, they're just gonna bring back that map.
Yeah.
Maybe it is like a slight remake. You can kind of see on the map it semi looks like it, but I don't know if it's going to play like it. I'd actually love to be able to, hey, anyone in the CDO, Activision, or anyone like that wants me to, check it out. You know where I'm at, even though you guys don't like me because I keep talking shit about how guys you are.
Out of the two maps, though, Departures I think is not viable. I think it's a very weird map. There's so many corners, so many upstairs, downstairs, weird headies, a lot of stairs for stair glitching. Like, there's a lot of just BS happening on Departures that I don't like it. I personally don't like it at all. Vista is cool. But there's got to be some adjustments. I think Vista's fun, though. I think Vista's fun. It could be the control I played on there once was fun to play. It moved a little too quick pacing-wise.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed Vista more than I enjoyed Departures by 1,000 degrees.
I would like to see Departures tried in S&D, but other than that, I can't see it being anything else. And the only reason I say that, it's 3-lane map, kind of get some, there's kind of room for a little bit of maneuvering and stuff like that. Only to try it. I don't know. I'd like to get like a pro's opinion on it. Maybe it just sucks. I don't know. But
chat, what do want to know what you guys think? Everyone from chat, let us know what you think about Vista and Departures. But moving ahead, because we want to get to the spice, right? We started with the mild wing. We want to get a little bit more into the spice. We got a tweet from the rotation saying that no challengers tournaments have been paid out yet this season. Cup 1 finished 68 days ago, yet no one has been paid. What is going on?
Is everyone broke? Challengers should be paid out that weekend.
Did it used to be paid out that weekend?
I mean, we used to have GB, so they just used to pay us at GB. Like when we played like back then. Like it was on game battles, so you just like got like a check like on the thing that you just had to sort out, But
let's say after like an actual let's say you go to a tournament like a challengers tournament on LAN,
or like an actual tournament.
Yeah, would you get paid out fairly instantly or no?
Nah, you wouldn't get paid out instantly. But my point is that these challenger players ain't getting salaried.
That's true.
Like these guys are doing it straight passion. Some of them are working jobs. Some of them are going to school. Like. That should be priority, not players. Obviously, the league is priority because, franchising players or whatever like that. But we're talking about players that are literally dedicating their life to try and be in that situation and earning. Some of them don't have jobs. Some of them are working school. Some of them are working all that kind of crazy hours just to even do this, make it even a reality. You need to pay these players as soon as you can. And 68 days is just terrible.
Yeah, I think the amount of time, I think net 30, which is some business wise. If you do a net 30, okay, fine. That's typical and getting paid whether you're at work, whatever. Okay. But 68 is insane. That's 68, and it's also 68 and counting. This is the 68 going to 69, but it's still that over 2 months not being paid.
That's essentially if that was an actual company that took this long to pay, you could actually take them to court, no? Because I'm pretty sure you say the net 30 type thing. Some of them have a 60 day payout thing. That's what most companies have that I've dealt with in the past.
Yeah,
anything past that is crazy.
Net 30, net 60. Someone should look. I mean, I'm not trying to spark no shit, but someone should take a look at their rules and regulations. Do they say they can pay you out at any time? Or do they say they have to pay within 30, 60? Someone should look at what the Face It rules
King Gray
are.
says Face It takes 90 plus days in Siege to pay out. Now that is tragic.
That's just tough, man. If you're a challengers player, you're running through this entire time, basically pins and needles, fighting for your life. Going through whether it's savings, your family, your parents. You're asking for money. People are probably looking at them yo, didn't you just win? Did you get second at challengers? Did you just get second or first? Aren't you getting paid 10 grand? It's kind of poor, man. It's kind of poor action.
Exceed said he's making more money in challengers than he did in the pro league, but motherfucker ain't seeing a penny.
you know what's funny too? Nikki D actually said something similar to me too. Classic, who just won Challenger Shams. I was talking to him a little bit off camera before our interview, after our interview, and I was just bro, are you trying to fight for the pro league and all this? He's like, nah, I don't want to be on a bad team. I don't want to be on a bottom 6, bottom 4 team. I said, why? You're in the pro league again. He said, nah, I like my sub spot. I make my money, and I make enough money from that and to placing well in challengers that I make more than if I was to go to a bottom team. And I said, are you serious? Like, yeah.
On the talking of challenges, we have one of the owners or founders and CEOs of OMiT, Mr. Rafi, in here.
Interesting.
Who they done a tweet about their EU challenger team.
Yeah.
Basically saying Rostermania is here. If any CDO organizations are interested in trying out Weeman, Vortex, Hixie, or Mythics, OMiT is willing to cover their travel expenses for trials at your facility, and this is open to discussion. And support with associated visa expenses. Now, listen. And obviously it says our players could arrive as early as tomorrow. They got first class shipping on their players to a CDO team if they want. Now, listen. Obviously, I know New York done the same thing with their players and stuff like this. But for an organization to give this much support to 4 European players who know it's going to be pretty pricey to send a player out there, visas are expensive. This is by far one of the greatest things I've seen since the CDO started. An actual organization that are willing to support. Because listen, it's hard enough being a European player as it is, let alone being an American organization giving, love to European players. It costs so much to send them out there and everything like that. Now, if we're talking about what players deserve to be picked up on that team, I haven't seen much of Mythics because obviously he wasn't around when I was around, I don't think. But Weeman, Vortex, and Hixie. Vortex has been winning since he got fucking sent down there. Weeman, the exact same, and then Hixie second at champs and first place in a single year and doesn't get a CDO team. If there are CDO teams that are not biting this post and actually speaking to OMiT, like they are literally saying they will help support with visa expenses and send the players to come see you so you can try them out. That, like, what more could you ask for?
I think it's one of those cases where it's a rare W from the challenger side. I think there's very few orgs down there that are doing things extremely right, but OMiT, FC Black, or I was even say Lord Gaming are doing it very, very well. This is something that's beyond normal, right? They're saying trials will help with visa expenses. We'll send them out there. This is an absolute dub out of OMiT, and yeah, Hixie, Weeman. Somebody should be making this call and again, I know we have the owners in here, but like somebody should be making this call. And whether it's it's a bluff, I don't know, but someone needs to be making this call instantly because some of these guys deserve to be in the league. And if it's a cost thing, here now, look at you. Now you look dumb if you're not calling Hixie. Now you look dumb if you're not calling Weeman at this point. Like there's no excuses at this point. All your excuses are being covered up by OMiT themselves. So
I was scrolling around the graphics, see if there's any like fine print where it says like you owe us $1 million, like if you do like accept this, but to see if they were trying to screw anyone over. But nah, this is honestly like you. I feel like that support you ain't gonna see like from anyone else really. Like
yeah.
And to start it off as well, like obviously people are gonna follow through, but like I said, like those flights ain't cheap. Like imagine if LAT was like, yo, let's try out let's bring Hixie over here. OMiT, I gotta spend like $2,000 to get him out there.
I had to repost it too because I think some of these CDL teams, some of these GMs, some of these coaches definitely need to see this thing and instantly, DM the OMiT guys and get some opportunities for some of them. Like you've been vouching for Weeman, Big Lee, right?
I've been vouching for him because the motherfucker can't stop winning. Now listen, obviously it's a bit different this year. That Miami event was a bit crazy, but he's been winning in challenges for years. Like,
wasn't he top? I think he was still like top 4 in Miami. Yeah, he didn't place like badly. Yeah, he didn't win it.
No.
He didn't get shit on. Like they got top 4. So like he's still consistently doing well within that side. And again, if they're willing to cover the travel expenses for the trials, they're not even saying we have to pick them up. They're saying just trial with them. This is the like this. That's insane for them because there is some teams I've heard. Trust me, I've heard this too out of their own mouths. Right? that will not play with European players or give them an opportunity because, oh, how are we going to try to scrim when they're in Europe? Like, it's not going to be real if we try to test them and trial them because of, you know, like the ping is, they're going to be playing on like 120 ping. It's not possible. So for OMiT to say, we'll send them over there so you can even test them out, and even if you don't take them, we're helping. Nah, absolute dove. Womit in the chat. I don't really like how Womit sounds. I said that Womit sounds too close to vomit.
Well,
So,
is it OMiT? Is it OMiT? Is it? I don't know. Rafi, talk to me.
No,
I think it's OMiT. I think it's OMiT. I think it's
OMiT?
OMiT. Yeah, so we'll call it WOMIT. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, WOMIT. WOMIT sounds good. WOMIT sounds good. But speaking on rosters that need help, rosters that need changes, rosters that need to blow it up, let's jump into some of these rumors and some of these changes that have happened during this course of this week. That's the reason this show happened. I couldn't sit and stand by and wait till Monday. Me and Trey were talking it up, chatting it up. The group chat we had our own little opinion, so we had to bring it up here. We're going to jump to the first change that we saw. Wait, I had the wrong one. Switch that up. There you go. Thieves, bench, Afro, and swap in JoeDeceives. Chat, let us know what you think. W or L. Trey, is this an improvement for LAT, or is this just an even swap at the end of the day?
I think it's one of these ones where you just have to see how it plays out, to be honest with you. Because Afro and Joe played together. They were both getting pissed on together. Joe goes into challenges and starts frying, respectfully. Now, I think the ceiling's high with Afro. Maybe I'm biased because that's my boy, but like I do believe the ceiling is higher. I think he's by far one of the most naturally talented like shooters I've seen. But he's coming home to the UK. He said he needs a reset. And hopefully, I've heard he's joining Team War with Bance. So hopefully they can, you know, start doing some stuff there. I don't know. I really wanted it to work with Nasty and Afro. I thought Nasty was going to come in and them two are just going to start piecing again. But obviously, he needs to come home. He needs a reset. He said him himself. He said he needs to come back and reset. It wasn't like a thing of him just like, yeah, I'm coming back to UK. Like I think he's doing the good thing here, the right thing, because one, he's still got a visa with LA Thieves. He's still on the roster, so he still gets paid, and he's still going to be playing challenges. So coming back to Europe, if he starts winning in challenges again, like he could rekindle like, you know, a career in maybe a different team, because he's a valuable asset right now. You got to understand that. If Thieves start playing well and he's playing well in challenges, he won't get a spot. He won't get his spot back. But he has a visa ready to go, and if any teams need help before champs or anything like that, he's there ready to go. Visa in hand, he can fly out, done and dusted. Maybe not even a buyout. Listen, I hope he comes back, man. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's a interesting point you said about him. I think it's best case scenario for Afro in a way. He wasn't playing that well in S&D. He was holding them up in S&D, but I think they needed some more respawn slang out of their subs. Yeah, joining Team More, going to Europe, getting a mental reset. I think he's be playing with guys who playing with some vets that can definitely direct him a bit more and get him back in line strategically and on the map versus kind of more that kind of, I don't know, call it random. I don't want to call it random play style because that's a little disrespectful, but like it seemed in Respawn like he was playing so slow, lowest damage, right? Low KD. It seemed like he just wasn't moving as much as he needs to on the map. I think some vets, some guys he's comfortable with will get him kind of pushing a little more. JoeDeceives though, 1.2 over the entire stage and time he's been in challengers essentially. 1.2 is kind of undeniable, man. I mean, that's some good numbers, right? The only other player that was dropping the same numbers was Capsule. It was Capsule number 1, JoeDeceives number 2. And I got a chance to talk to the FC Black coach, and he said that he saw a really big change out of Joe over the time while he was on FC Black. He said that he saw him grow as a player. They kind of got him, they were like trying to get his fundies a little better, his fundamentals a little better, and he developed a bit more on that squad. I'm excited to see him back on this roster. I think him playing in the place of Afro is going to make LAT a dangerous team in respawns. I think they'll be a little worse at S&D, but I think in respawns now they'll be able to compete with, you know, I think they'll be able to compete with NYSL. I think they'll be able to compete with Toronto, and maybe take a map or two off of Optic and FaZe. You know, I think it's gonna be a lot more competitive now for LAT, which is a big thing. Bro, yeah, I'm happy with the move. I think it's sensible. There was this pretty funny thing where I think Nate was pressing Ghosty and Kremp about what happened on the team, and I don't know. Let's just watch it because I thought it was so comedy watching this. The owner of your org live on stream is trying to get you to talk about why you dropped the guy. Comedy.
So who's coming back, or what are we doing?
Another question I can't answer.
You guys don't even know our fourth yet, bro? What do I gotta pay you for a fucking leak? We make the team change. Afro's moving to the bench for a little bit. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? We'll do a live interview.
I mean, I love the guy. Great. He was a great teammate. Very good player. Grinded a fucking shit ton. Shit happens.
What up, Marcus?
Absolutely love the guy.
All right.
If you ever need anything, I'm always here for him. He's actually like one of the best teammates I've had.
Amen.
Okay.
Sometimes there's things outside of
COD, yeah.
outside of COD that you have to handle.
Yeah, exactly.
And secondly, on the notion, there's only 4 majors this year. So unfortunately, it's very cutthroat this year. You know what I mean? Like the champs like cutoff and/or qualification is going to end way sooner than you think major-wise. You know what I mean? You either take the risk or you don't take the risk.
So who's coming back, or what?
Yeah, I think there's two really interesting points that are said in that clip. One is the fact that they're talking again out of game stuff with Afro.
I mean, listen, they're not going to hop on stream and be like, he's getting pissed on in respawns, are they?
I don't know. Again, I feel like that, you know.
I mean,
the second half of that, though, is kind of that, though. The second half was champs is close. We got to make sure we solidify a spot. That's kind of them incognito saying, we need a better player and we need someone that's going to solidify that spot for us. But the first half wasn't necessary to say. I feel like they could have just stuck to the second half if it was just he's getting piss slammed. So it kind of makes you speculate. What do they mean?
That's my point, though, is like they're not going to go in there and be like, well, listening, like he had the lowest damage and hard point. He had one of the lowest KDs. Like we need some slaying power. You know, they ain't going to say that on stream. They ain't going to violate someone like that. It's like you know how it is, Ace. That's the most PR responsible time.
Yeah, it was. Yes, the way they handled it, honestly. Nate is funny for how he pressed them live on stream.
Bro, Nate is hilarious for doing that. He's like, bro, you
have to pay you guys.
No, I love it. He just goes, so what's going on? Like, who's the fourth? And they're like, bro, like
they're like shitting bricks. Like, bro, are you serious right now? He said, no. He's like, tell me right now. Now that it's comedy, but yeah, whatever it may be, right? Whatever it may be, if there is something out of game that's going on with Afro, hopefully he gets it figured out. Going to the UK, going home, seeing your family, being around your boys. Hopefully he gets it figured out, gets it eased up. But I do agree, LAT needed a certified shooter, and JoeDeceives is right now being that certified shooter in Challengers. So you can't deny the kid another opportunity. And they didn't drop Afro, like you said. He's on the bench. So there's a chance we see him again. There's a chance he gets taken somewhere else. Best case scenario for Afro. I'm happy for him in the sense that he didn't get dropped and lose his source of income. He has a chance to just make money in Challengers and stack some bread for a while. God bless. Not the worst thing in the world.
Go back, go see Mumsy, go rekindle that love again. You know what I'm saying? So also before I did link a tweet in here.
Oh, my bad.
Before we hop into the the CDL type stuff with everyone. Speaking of JoeDeceives, his teammate Exceed.
You talk. I'll bring it up right now.
Yeah, his teammate Exceed done a tweet. Have been clear cut at the top of challenges all year and wasn't even considered for any roster changes throughout the year. Heartbroken and mind blown are the word to be used. I guess I have to keep my head down and keep pushing and prove it again. Now, I have two feelings towards this tweet, Ace.
Okay.
My point is that how many people that have fried in challenges or been at the clear-cut top of challenges don't get picked up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've had Pentagram.
Mm-hmm.
We've had, we've had shouts for Dylan Rex. We've had Gunless for years. We've had all these players that haven't been picked up. Like,
I mean, do you want to consider the reasoning? Are we gonna play devil's advocate here?
I mean, the only reason I think XE doesn't been picked up is because of his LAG stint.
Yes. Well, exactly right. It's because of there's the difference between the players that are getting picked up is this is it right here. I'll tell you right now. Their ceilings when they were in the league, like a Gunless, right? If he is getting picked up, there's a reason why people are looking at Gunless because he made a massive impact when he was in the league. Top player, certified shooter, and he didn't get asked out of the league because he was a bad player, more because of teammate narratives and such in that manner, right? It was more he's tough to work with more than no one ever thought Pierce wasn't playing well. That was never a talk about Pierce. Secondly, yeah, it's going to be the opportunities they had, the opportunities they had in the CDL.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for Pierce.
Why do you say that?
I feel sorry for Pierce because he was actually playing on that LAG team, wasn't he? And he had that. Yeah, he got unwell. He got sick.
Yes, he had a stomach.
And then Spark came in. Spark came in with that absolute fucking turret of a minigun that came in and just won him an event. And Gunless knew right there. We all know Gunless wasn't getting his spot back. Yeah, Spark was only supposed to fill in for him.
Yeah.
And then Gunless was supposed to come back, and then Spark comes in and just violates it with a gun, and then Pierce has been fucked over ever since, really.
Yeah, that was the moment where he was permanently fucked out. Like it was like, oh, all of a sudden the narrative became like, oh, Pierce was holding them back, when in reality this kid just came out using a gun that was legitimately unfair to use and had a miracle event, which happens, right? It happens, but after that, their success was not the same, and they probably would have been better off with Pierce on the roster. So it is unfortunate, and I think in Exceed's case,
Exceed's been in the league 2 years. He's been in the CDL 2 times.
That's what I was gonna say. So his case is actually tougher because both times he was in the CDL, he underperformed both those times. It's not once, it's twice. So that stigma is around you when you're in challengers a lot of the time. The only other way people get picked up, right? So there's 2 ways you get picked up. One is you're in the CDL and your ceiling was high. The second way you get picked up is if you do something insane, high impact, right? Like JoeDeceives and 04 both won Challengers champs in their second Challengers event. That's why they got picked up so fast. That's why JoeDeceives went from a rank play kid to winning his second event to on a team, basically. Then this kid 04 has played a bunch of online tourneys, but comes to one event, comes to Boston, top 24, then wins the next one, reverse sweep fashion against FC Black. That's why people are looking at him. You either have to make an incredible impact, the noise that's unlike your peers, or you have to be someone in the CDL got screwed over, or you have a super high ceiling that makes you, viable to make a CDL team better. Because these CDL teams are not trying to get good. They're trying to compete and win. And in my opinion, this is my opinion, right? So everyone could disagree with me and hate what I have to say. With Exceed's time in the league, he has been a role player, but teams right now are not looking for role players. They're looking for players that can make a massive impact and make them compete with the top 4.
And people are going to be like, oh, yeah, he had that, LAG stint where, it looked like, he was on the LAG that were giving out, 3-year contracts to iLLeY. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he wasn't on like a terrible spot with LAG. I think the issue is yeah. I'll keep it real with you. If Vortex and Weeman can't get in the league, then no one should complain. Really, I'm gonna be real. Like, just because you're doing well in challenges right now, bro, Weeman and Vortex have been running this shit for years, and they can't even get a look in. So if that doesn't prove to you that you should just bro, if your opportunity comes, don't complain about it, because we've got people in challenges that like a Hixie, Ace, who just got second at Champs, who just won an event in literally last year.
Right.
And he's not got a spot. Now, respectfully, you can't sit there. We can't sit here and complain just because you've been frying in challenges. There are people that have been frying in challenges for literal years, at the top of challenges for years, and haven't got a spot. So I don't buy this whole like make people feel sorry for you type shit, because people have been doing this for years. You had your chance in the CDO. There's people that haven't even had a shot once that deserve it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly, you said it better than I could say it myself, to be honest. Like, that's, WeeMan hasn't had a chance to see what he can do in the CDL. Hicksy is in the CDL and done great, and is still just cock-blocked in challengers for some reason because of visa issues or whatever it may be. There's people like, again, someone brings up in the chat, Mohawk, for example, even when he was frying, right now he's currently not playing, but when he was frying, he didn't even get a chance in the pro scene because of XYZ reasons, and there just wasn't a spot for him. So it is unfortunate that you have to just accept the fact that, like, you could be winning and may not get a spot, but you have to keep your head down, keep pushing, make your money in challengers, right? FC Black is top number 1 or number 2 in challengers, most likely going to keep that positioning, top 3, top 2 for the rest of the year. Make a good bag. They're offering good challenger pools right now. Make a good bag. Even if you make a team or don't make a team, you'll make some money, and you got to keep pushing. That's the only way to go about it.
My point is about that tweet. It's not like someone's going to look at that and be like, you know what? He has been piecing. Let's give him a shot. Like, bro, sit there, head down, don't tweet. Like, I don't know, that tweet, just like, You know, it just makes me like, I don't like it. No, it's like a feel sorry for me type tweet. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I've been frying. I deserve a spot in the CDO. Motherfucker, there is so many limited spots in the CDO that people that genuinely deserve to be in the CDO cannot get a spot.
I mean, again, it's tough, man. Again, Exceed, I do feel for you. But there's a lot of guys in line that need to prove themselves in the CDL. Your time in the CDL, yes, you weren't surrounded by the best players. You weren't surrounded by maybe the best opportunity to do well and strive. But that's another reason why players will not take bad opportunities. We've heard about this before, where there was an Asim example where, like, he wanted to play with a certain level of player. There's an example of Classic who told me, again, this is literally at Miami after winning the Miami Challenger champs. He said, I don't want to be on a bottom 4 team. It's going to hurt my spot, and I make more money just keeping my sub spot and playing challengers. So, like, it's tough. It sucks, but this is the reality of the situation. There's Visa. There's so much going on. There's, Donnie Temp is in there too. Like, XC needs to look at the whole scope of the entire challenger scene, and frying isn't enough sometimes, which is unfortunate, but you gotta be in the good graces and perception of the community and the people that are running these teams. Yeah, I hate it, but it is what it is.
His tweet is correct.
It is.
In peace, it's correct. I just don't like it when people tweet like this. Like, it just makes no sense to me. Like, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, no one's gonna look at that tweet and be like, you know what, man? Throw him a contract and we feel bad. Like, head that. If your opportunity comes, your opportunity comes. Like, that's the way it is. Like, if a player wants Exceed, if a player wants WeeMan, if a player wants Pentagram, they're gonna go to you and give you the contract.
There's also peep to stream right now. There's also this sent to me. Oh, I can't. One second. Give me a second. Let me drag this over really quick, because this. I'll save the image so we can drag it over, but everyone take a peep of that right there. That's partially, this is sent to me by, I'll just not say who sent it to me, but this is the reason also why it's, it's tough to feel like you need to pick this guy up. And this is, I'm not putting this up as disrespect. I swear to God. I'm literally just pointing out the fact that teams will, recency bias is nice sometimes. It works in the favor of some players. Recency bias also works against some players. But there's also narratives that exist around you, especially when you didn't make an impact with your time in the CDL. The Gwyn on a team that was getting shit on was not doing these numbers. That's all I have to say.
Lion Man, I love you to fucking pieces, but you have ruined so many careers.
Jesus Christ.
I'll say it straight. I'll say it straight. There was a time. This is a funny story. Back in Black Ops 4. You were trying to pick up some players with Zinni and that, and I messaged because Ben Bance wasn't on the team, and I was trying to get him on a team. So I messaged Zinni. I was like, "Bro, you got to pick up Bance, bro. Like you have to pick up Bance. He's gonna make your team better, blah blah blah. Like pick him up over this guy, trust me." And he was, obviously Black Ops 4 wasn't Ben's best game, so Zinni sends me back a picture of Ben's player card.
And he's
like,
bro, this fucking guy.
He goes, "You want me to pick this up?" And I was like, "Bro, not a fucking player card, man. Come on."
No, I mean, again, it's like I said, those narratives exist for a reason. He is frying this game, and that's the other bad part about COD. I will say that per each game, you can be a different player. Not like outstandingly, but there's definitely players that were good in MW 2019, then players that are good in Cold War, then some players that are good in MW2. Now there's some players that are good in MW3. So unfortunately in this game too, compared to a lot of other esports, we're jumping game to game and your talent level kind of changes and varies game to game. So it sucks.
I have it right here, bro. It was between Ben Bance and Classic. And I was like, Bance is better than Classic. Jesus Christ. He goes, "No, he's not." I said, "You have to be blasted." And he sent me a picture of Ben's player card and put LOL.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, speaking of Exceed, let's jump to it. Again, another player in Challengers that's making a bit of a wave. Let's jump over to Seattle, right? Because this is one that I think sparked a lot of... It was very polarizing what people thought about this move. It was kind of surprising that it was so polarizing to me personally. I like iLLeY. He's a good guy. You play ranked and stuff with him. He's a good guy. He's fun. He's cool. He's been underperforming. So it was kind of surprising to me that the community was like, there was like 60, 70% of the community that was very about this move. Yeah, iLLeY's been playing terribly. It makes sense. But there's like 30% of the community that was more like, nah, he deserves a shot. The team was chalked. This and this. Well, how do you feel about this, Trey? I'm very curious.
They had to make a change, and they feel that he was the guy to go. World champ, multiple event winner, and just couldn't get it together on that Seattle team. It's a similar situation to where look at our Vanguard team, for example, Ace, when we had Gizmo, and we just we had a good showing at the first major like they did. They got top 6. They had a good showing with iLLeY, and then you go back and you think, yeah, we're gonna let's work on our shit. We know what we can do. Let's work on this. Boom, one player goes. All the progress you made of that one player, that high you're on at the event, that high you come back, just goes.
Like kicked in the chest, basically. All your air's out.
Yeah, and that's how it was for him. They brought in Brezzy, and they just couldn't get it together. And unfortunately for iLLeY, love him to pieces, but he was the one that was just gone. Like they chose him to go, and that was it.
Yeah, I think his performance has not been great, but I don't know what you can expect from a guy when his roster that he wanted to form from the beginning, which again had potential, very clearly saw from Major 1, they had potential to develop and do something, right? Him, Hook, and iLLeY, these are all like certified shooters, and then you had Abuza, who was frying last year. This team could have done something, and really was. They looked great in S&D, right? They were beating top teams in S&D. They had something going for them, actually. Then your entire schematic is all ruined. So it's tough for me.
That was my point, is that like everyone was like, oh, they're S&D merchants. Like, yeah, they are.
Yeah, 100%.
They would steal a respawn and beat you both S&Ds. But you got to understand that teams can work on stuff, and if they just worked on their respawn with iLLeY, they could have been a very good team.
I want to peep his response to the tweet. This is kind of like stuff I don't like to see players tweet. You have the Exceed tweet that you didn't like personally, which I thought is fine, but you think you don't like it. This is what I don't like, right? Seattle put out a normal PR, normal tweet. Thank you so much, all this, best of luck. And then he replies, don't tweet this.
I think he's done that to every team he's been dropped on.
Has he?
I remember seeing some tweets. I feel like he's definitely done this before.
I feel like I just feel like it's the wrong move, right? Like you underperformed recently.
I think he is trolling in some sense as well, in my opinion.
But bro, you gotta have enough awareness to like know that when you tweet that, even if you are trolling, right? I'll give him the pass that he might be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But how does it look? How does it look to some people, right? He could have definitely said. I think saying nothing would have been better than that. I do agree that iLLeY is 1-2 troll, but him saying nothing could have been good. He was underperforming. The team definitely probably just needed something to certify their spot, try to make champs, and hopefully iLLeY can
Unless
get on
they seriously fucked him over. Unless they seriously fucked him over like London did to a lot of players. Like, my hate for London is sky high because of how they, what they done to players. Unless they fucked him over like that, like, I don't know.
I feel like the only way in this case they fucked him over, again, I'm not speaking from a place of knowledge here. I'm speaking from a place of thought of just like, after the event, they didn't do well. They got together. We're not dropping anyone. We're going to stick it out. And then they go home and then this happens. I think that could be the only realm where that kind of happened.
I mean, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. There's just no way they had a meeting and were like, yo, we're low-key going to grind this out. I think I would have left the team if that was said. But in my opinion, like, shitting on people that, pay you good money, like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly that. That's just the thing I don't like. Don't bite the hands that feeds you type of concept.
Unless there was some serious like beef hate there, like I have with London, like I'll tweet all shit about London.
But we didn't get a chance to see, like, we didn't hear anything about any beef.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If he exposed something, okay, whatever. But let's jump ahead to the proposed, rumored changes for Seattle, because we did have Breaking Point putting out this tweet. Seattle Surge are making to make a 2-man change. 04 is expected to replace Arcitys, and Hook may be getting dropped from the roster. This was a little surprising to me for 2 reasons. One, going back to the Exceed tweet, 04 won his second event, instantly goes to CDL. I feel like a lot of Challengers players are probably heavily salty about this. But
100%.
But
it happens every year.
Yeah, exactly.
Happens every year.
Exactly, but you have to understand that this is just how it goes.
There is new news on this roster as well that Hugh is like staying. He's good.
And then that confuses me as well, right? It makes me think. Are they going to role swap Abuza finally? Because 04 is a sub. So are you going to have... What's the move
now? Listen,
here?
if I'm at 04, I'm probably. Now listen, if I'm 04, bro, I might be staying in challenges.
Whoa, that's radical. That's radical.
Waiting for. I mean, bro, playing with. I mean, they speak good English, but like French, Belgium, and then Hugh.
It's a CDL, bro.
Yeah, that's true, but like, I don't know. Like I said, I've had this conversation before. Like, for starters, I'd love to see 04 back in. Like, I'd love to see 04 can like at least play one more event. But yeah, it is a CDL. You are right. I wouldn't say it's an L take. I'm just saying, be careful who you join. You know what I'm saying? Be careful.
I agree. The other thing I heard too, I don't know if this is true, but the rumor I heard was, again, people are saying in chat, is the Cobra one.
I've heard that. I just don't know if it's solid, just purely because of visas. But if they can do what they've done with Brezzy, send him to Toronto, get him a work permit, it'll work.
I mean, it'll
work. Cobra needs to be, like, if we're talking about a player that needs a shot, Cobra's one of them.
I've heard, so this is the only thing I've heard about Cobra is that his English, like, I heard this direct from Tom, from Linz. He said that Cobra is disgusting, but his English is worse than mine. So
Yeah.
he's
And then, you know, if you get Cobra in there and you whack 04 in there, 04 it ain't got, unless 04 is fluent in French and Hugh knows a bit, then I don't know what the fuck's going down.
it's again
That's why I said it's scary though, Ace. That's why I'm saying watch who you join.
I agree. I mean, we talked about I said a second ago, right? Like, because Exceed got in the league with a team that obviously was going to underperform, and now you can't say it's all their fault, but you weren't put in a position to play well, and now you have a stigma around you, and that's why a bunch of players now are decide even if bottom 4 teams sent them an offer, they wouldn't join it. So to me, this team is a little weird because we've heard the rumor of 04, we've heard the rumor of Hook getting dropped, we've heard the rumor of Cobra. So are they going all French? Are they going all S&D? What's the move here exactly, right? What are they exactly trying to do? It's up in the air. We have no confirmations exactly. But if I could form the roster here personally, I think I would go Abuza, Brezzy, 04, and Cobra. That's what I would do. I would go mostly French and then have 04 just doing his thing.
Nah, I'm putting Hugh in for Brezzy, bro.
Actually, yeah. Actually, no. That my bad. That's actually correct. 04, Hook, Cobra, Abuza. That's pretty good. There you go. I think that team in S&D is gonna shit on everyone.
And I see people talking about Hydra's English wasn't very good either. Now I don't know what Cobra's doing, but one thing you guys don't know, or maybe a lot of you don't know, Hydra's coach, DeReal, has been coaching Hydra since Challengers in the UK. And DeReal also helped Hydra learn a lot of English.
Yeah.
So
Cobra's also teaming with 2 Englishmen. So that's another thing as well that was put in my eyes, that Cobra's teaming with 2 Englishmen right now, 2 UK players. So he's been speaking English, but it wasn't great. It's not great. These players, I think, honestly, Seattle will basically become a development team for these 4 players, in my opinion. I think 04 is going to do fine, and then he'll eventually go on a different team. I think Cobra, if this rumor is true and he comes to the league, he's going to develop on this team and then go to a different team likely, unless they build around him. Abuza, hopefully, if they do this role change, he can finally start frying and be what his potential is. And then Hook, I don't know. Hook is always my up in the air event to event. Hook looks like a different player, and that to me is it's inconsistent COD. So it's kind of, I don't know. Hook to me is the biggest X factor because you just don't know what you're gonna get every event.
My point about the thing of DeReal and Hydra, like learning it, like helping him learn English, was for starters, Cobra plays with 2 English players, so obviously there's nothing. Like obviously they understand him there, and secondly, if you are a player that does not speak English or have very limited English and you want to play in the CDL, you would do it off your own back to learn English because it is the primary spoken language in the CDL, you know?
Yeah.
That's why you would learn.
It's literally in your best interest to, instead of teaming with people of your own language or vernacular, go with some UK guys at least, or learn some English, because it's literally in your best interest to get in the Pro League. So I agree with you 100%. Also, we had another thing pop up, which thank you to PD Gaming. He sent this to me on the Reddit. ZooMaa. Everyone gets mad at me when I leak, but if Tommy leaks, it's all good, baby. The rumors are all true. I don't know, man. This is comedy, because if I was to say this on here, I will get flamed. I will get absolutely flamed for spreading caca. Tommy says it's all good, though. It is what it is, baby. But let's hear what Tommy has to say. Apparently, iLLeY might be making a return.
He's looked at Brezzy as a sub player. I don't know why, but
Brezzy might be if they're not dropping Kyler, then Brezzy might be the one to go.
Right, which maybe they experiment with like a flex player or some shit. Like I don't know, maybe they experiment with another change here. I did hear a rumor, Ben and Chris. Yeah. I heard a rumor that iLLeY might be coming back into this roster. I have heard that behind the scenes. I have heard iLLeY maybe coming back in.
So Abuza, Ender, Kyler, 04,
which is not a bad team.
It's not bad. The comms on that team would be interesting.
Yeah, but
But-
like,
But
but I
it
mean,
is
if they
what it is.
did bring back
Yeah.
iLLeY and it was a booze on a main and an iLLeY on a flex,
Do you hear Ben's reaction there? Like, if someone said to me, like, iLLeY's making a return, or like Ace, if you said to me like, "Oh, iLLeY's making a return," I'm like, "Oh shit!" Ben has no reaction. iLLeY's coming back.
Guys, the rumor is, so again, now that Tommy has decided to open up the dam, I will continue to be Mr. Leaker. iLLeY is not banned. I'll say it like that to you guys. iLLeY is not banned. He's not out of the CDL, like as in like perma-banned. He is viable. He was not suspended. He's just was given some time to sit on the sideline, and that's it. So iLLeY is viable. So we could see iLLeY return to the Seattle lineup. We could see iLLeY return to a different lineup. It's a false rumor and at this point to say that he's out of the CDL, because he's not. Any team, I would say pretty much any team besides the top 4 could actually benefit from having iLLeY on their team. He's the only like not free agent, but like only not rostered player right now that is a guaranteed to make your team better. He's the only one that you're a guaranteed absolute yes that this guy's going to make your team better.
Bro, iLLeY's gonna come back on that Seattle team and be like that scene from Captain America where he wakes up out of his fucking cryo sleep. Like, what the fuck's happened? I was here with Arcitys, now I've got 04, I got Cobra. What the fuck's going on here, man?
Isn't he contracted to Seattle? Yes, he's still contracted to Seattle. He's not, again, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. He hasn't been dropped. He's still a viable player. He just sat out. Tommy, yeah, there is, the rumor mill is that iLLeY is making a return. We don't know where. No one knows where, but he is a viable option for teams right now. And I appreciate Tommy for putting it out there so, we could discuss it a little bit more.
he's looked at Brezzy as a sub player. I don't know why.
Yeah, here's the Cobra one, too. This is from Jacob Hale. Cobra's the only name I've heard linked with Seattle Surge spot, but have not received any concrete, so might as well have been accurate by the time Major 3 starts. Yeah, I think Seattle has the most rumors around them, and it makes the least sense who comes in, right? Because, again, 04 is a sub player, so if Hook doesn't get dropped, then you have, like, 3 sub players, unless Abuza makes a switch, but then they're also talking about iLLeY now. So I think Seattle's really mixy. I think by next week, pretty much all these teams have to be certified and ready to go because you have to start scrimming. Matches start in a week, 2 weeks, a week and a half.
Yeah, if you ain't ready by Tuesday,
you're chalked.
There's an issue.
Yeah, you're literally chalked. Like team, you have to start scrimming immediately because there's no time now, bro. This is the major 3, only 4 majors. Like Ghosty said in that thing the clip we saw with Nade. You don't have that much time this year. Half the season is over. Only 2 more majors are left. If you're not gunning to qualify and make sure you make champs around here, major 3, you're going to be fighting for your life and probably out of possibility by major 4.
Yeah, majority of teams start scrimming Monday. Like that's. I'm pretty sure that's like the time where all the pro teams scrim each other again, isn't it? Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday. I'm pretty sure Lamar's coming back today and stuff too. So like, yeah, people are all coming back to town and all that stuff's happening today. But by Monday, everyone wants to start streaming.
Yeah, there's a few teams that are already scrimming, but I think every team is like guaranteed to be back by Monday.
Yeah, which again, that's what needs to happen. So like all these rumors, pretty much, that's why we wanted to have a Dope Check episode 13 and a half today to go over the rumors and probably by Monday have solidified rosters that me, Trey, and Rab all together can critique and talk about and have our silly goose time with. But jumping ahead now, let's go over to the Minnesota ROKKR, right? The Minnesota ROKKR. Chat, let me know what you think about this move. Awakening will be dropped from Minnesota ROKKR. WL, or is it about the same? Is it neutral for you guys? Does ROKKR have a better chance or lower chance without Wake on the roster? I'm curious what you guys think. But the
Vivid switching to an AR is crazy.
The rest of this was interesting, though. Dak has been linked as a replacement, although it's not locked yet, with Vivid switching to an AR via Jacob Hale. So, I don't know. I found this a little interesting. Give me your first reactions to the drop and all this happening.
I mean, we've been speaking about this for weeks. You know, it's clear as day he's not been their performer. I think you put him on another team, he probably does perform. I'm not saying it's that thing I said to you though, Ace. It's you look at like some players just don't play well on certain teams, and I think this is just one for Wake. There's no way Wake goes from shooting 1.4s to fucking 0.7s. It can't be a talent thing unless he's just not very good at this game, which is perfectly fine. That happens. That coming in, I'm seeing Vivid to an AR, which is kind of crazy to me because he's their interaction guy. Like, he's the fast motherfucker. I do like it. It's the same way that I said, change Priest to a sub, Asim on an AR. Yeah. For me, I would have made a 2-man change, but I'm still okay with this.
Yeah, it's sad to see Joe go. He's definitely a player that's. This is one of those this is what I talked about before. When recency bias can work against you, everyone has forgot that he was a certified 1.2 for multiple games. Certified shooter, absolutely reliable to get you to piece for you when you need it. So it's kind of like it just sucks that right now he probably won't get an opportunity again. He probably won't even get on a good challengers team, to be honest with you. Because people already assume that he's not doing it. Like he's not shooting the same. There
is a thing from PD Game, and he said he's linked something to Ace. It says ZooMaa says he thinks the reason Wake fell off this year was because Wake has probably injured his hands because he was wearing KC tape on his hands.
You can probably stop after the minute mark. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see what we're talking about here.
Man, I want to talk about
I
Joe. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
He's got Space Jam,
you want my conspiracy theory? You want my conspiracy
I actually
theory?
want it, yes, because
that's a good
I will say
conspiracy
this one makes no sense.
This is my conspiracy theory. I think he's got hand issues and he just doesn't want to talk about it because he's just like he knows if he talks about it and he does actually have like hand issue type shit, he was just gonna get dropped.
That is an insane conspiracy theory. Dude.
I mean, think about
tape,
it.
Right?
He messaged me a year or two ago saying that he was having problems and he was like,
I didn't know that.
He's trying to get advice.
I didn't know that.
And a lot of players have messaged me that saying that more than half the league has messaged me saying.
But you're talking about the KT tape. You're talking about the KT tape.
The KT tape is what gave it away. The KT tape on stream, bro. When I seen the KT tape, why is the KT tape, like, what is that? Like, I've used KT tape back in the day when I was going through, like, my ACL shit, when I was, like, tore my ACL and shit when I played ball, and I used to use that shit all the time when I was dealing with injuries. I feel like the only time people use that KT tape is when you're playing through an injury. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's interesting.
It's a theory for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a theory.
No one's wearing KT tape though if they're not hurt though.
Nah, I disagree though. No, I really disagree though. I
mean, they're not playing. They're not fucking shooting hoops, bro. They're sitting down, sit down.
Okay. So if anyone's never, I've used that tape for volleyball. I've used that tape for basketball. Yes, it was more primarily used when we need the support or injured or, your elbow or your shoulder, something's causing you a problem. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if that necessarily says it's an injury. I think more or less, like, I think it could be injury preventative if you wear it enough, one, and two, it just feels better when you have it on. For example, Lamar has it. Lamar has the KC, KT tape, whatever it's called. He has it just so because it feels better when he's playing. And it prevents the soreness and the hand issues or the hand pain, the elbow pain that he's had before playing. Which a lot of players can say. Even a casual player, a regular guy who plays, 8 hours a day at home COD, after a few days, your arm is gonna hurt. You're gonna feel that shooting pain like right down here. Everyone knows what I'm talking.
Yeah. I'm saying it was on his hand though.
Yeah, because I mean it prevents
and it came out of nowhere.
I mean, because
unless because if Lamar wears it to prevent it, unless he spoke to him and was like, "Yo, what the hell is that on your arm?" Because I know players do that.
Yeah.
Also, don't let it. Also, let it be known, yeah, that when Abizi come in my chat, yeah, and because Abizi had leg pains like I did, he spoke to me. Dr. Trey comes out, lets him know what's happening. Next thing you know, he wins Major 2. I want to cut. I want to cut.
No, I'm just want to make it clear that like he's playing with Lamar, who uses it to prevent any hand issues. At this point, it used to be because his hand hurt. Now it's to prevent hand issues. And clearly, we see Lamar front.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
I completely forgot he plays with Lamar. Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, and I'm saying I just want to contend against this conspiracy theory for 2 reasons. One, because I don't believe it's true. Most importantly, number 1, I do not believe it's true. Number 2, I don't want this narrative or something to form around Joe that his arm hurts or hand hurts and that's stopping him, because I don't believe that's true at all. I think it's preventative, and Lamar uses it for prevention. Lamar's not having an issue.
Yeah, Lamar.
So he probably said, "Here, Joe, wear this."
Lamar is one of those people. I will say, like, I'll credit him. I credit Lamar a lot. I actually credit him so much. But he ices his hands every day. He ices his hands every day to prevent hand aches, soreness, injuries, everything like that. Lamar takes care of himself, I think, more than any pro player, in my opinion.
Stockton really has no idea, does he? About what? What? Bro, I'm around these people. What? Trey lives in the UK. I live here. Y'all think I'm yapping when this is insane. It's insane to think I'm even yapping right now. I'm saying.
Now you have to understand, guys, that Ace is with Lamar 24/7.
Yeah, I don't understand how y'all assume that I'm waffling or yapping when this is specifically something that I know Lamar uses to prevent hand issues that he would want his guys to be wearing as well. To prevent what? Hand issues. Duh.
That's why I just went back on my statement, because Ace just said I forgot Wake teamed with Lamar. So it all makes sense now. If Lamar uses it and Wake's using it too, Lamar probably put him on. Just an FYI.
Yeah, and then so let's jump ahead. There's this tweet also from Breaking Point. Minnesota ROKKR expected to trial Gunless and Dak. Which again, the Dak, this is like 04 and Dak teamed together. They just won together. Again, if I'm a Challengers player, I might be punching the wall and screaming that a guy, Dak was also in the league as well. I think as a sub at some point. Was he on? He got, or was he trialed? I think he was trialed by somebody in the league at some point.
I don't think he was ever in the league.
No, he was trialed by somebody in the league at some point. Trialed by LAT. That's what it was. Thank you, God. Thank you, chat. He was trialed by LAT. Clearly, it didn't work out. But if I got a chance to watch him on LAN. He looked disgusting. There was an S&D Rio where he dropped 16 for the L. He's a sub player. He looked really, really good. There was an NGNL LAN, local LAN, that he actually won with flames in them. He looked really, really good. And he was the player that I left talking to people that I knew about. I said, y'all need to watch Dak. Y'all need to watch Dak. I said, y'all need to watch Dak and see what's up with him, because this kid's actually piecing and actually understands the game. He knows what's going on. So, yeah, if this is true, I expect though, if it's a two-man change, these are 2 good players that I would look at. Gunless absolutely deserves a spot. I think him and Lamar actually kind of make sense, because Gunless has played with Slasher before, had success, significant success. Lamar and Slasher are similar, similar-ish players. And I think Gunless, when he's a little freed and back in the league, he can make some noise.
Bro, some guy tweeted me because I said Lamar's probably the best person to go play with if you're a young player and want to learn how to become a professional. Someone tweeted me and was like, "Bro, you're so fucking dumb. Clace is clearly the greatest to do this." I'm like, bro, I team with the guy. I've never teamed with Clay. Clay. My point was Clay has Clay, back in the day, Clay used to get like all the good talent. You know, he had Simp, he had Shotzi, all those type of people. Lamar is good for the players that are coming up now. Like Clay's a great teacher. But he had Simp, he had Shotzi, he had all these players because he was at the top of already there. You know what I'm saying? So the top guy gets to play with the top players. It's like the top teams, they get they buy the best players or whatever like that. Clay was already at the top, so obviously he gets to play with the young guns that come through that are deemed to be like prodigies, you know what I'm saying? Whereas Lamar is just a really fucking solid player and a solid mentor to go play with if it's your first time in the league or just in general. Like, he's a great person.
I think it's beyond that too. I think Clay's number one thing is identifying good talent. He's not so great at developing the talent, but he's great at identifying great talent. Lamar, on the other hand, again, is great at developing the talent. Those are two very different skill sets, Chad. Like, it's very different. I don't know. I think a team of Lamar, Gunless, Linz, and I don't know, a fourth. That could be cool. I mean, I would love to see maybe a Hicksy if these issues were probable. I would love to see a Hicksy come in and be the glue. Linz and Hicksy would be cool. Maybe I've been speaking on this. I know Chad tells me I'm faded every time I bring his name up, but like maybe a iLLeY, a Standy. Maybe a
See, I think Standy's problems lie within apparently like outer game stuff, so I don't think anyone wants to take a risk on that.
Again, like I'm just that's the issue right now with the. Before there wasn't many like good fast AR players, like flex AR players. Now there's not many good subs. I think there are good subs, but there's not any subs that like you really, really will come and improve your team. Maybe, I mean, Asim's available now too. I don't know. I think there's a lot of options here for that fourth spot, but you need someone that's going to complement Linz really well. And Linz has a particular play style where you need someone that I think that's gonna not bait for him per se, but like be running ahead of him so he can clean up what's happening in front of him. Yeah. Any more thoughts on ROKKR or where this team needs to go?
I'm just glad they're making a change.
No, that's fair.
It's been a long time coming. I mean, there's only so many times I can say that they need to make a change. Like I said, I am the prophet. If anyone wants to pay me for, tips and tricks, I said that Minnesota were going to have a crazy fall off regardless of anything like that. After that Optic series, I literally said, you can go back in the old dope check and hear it out, that I said ROKKR will end up, having a rough stint. They will not win it will be really bad from this major. And it was. And it was just purely because, I promise you, Ace, they win that series versus Optic. They win that series versus Optic. They probably finish top 4 at Major 2.
It's a different.
No one gets dropped.
Timeline.
It's a different game. It's a different game.
A different timeline. If some of those decisions by the players who are swapping roles or getting dropped are not there. If Wake isn't there and Vivid somewhere else, that's just like insane. Capo says, would you say that roster moves about Vegas? What is Capone? Are there rumors about Vegas? If there's a rumor, please send it to me or show me or tell me what you're talking about. Because I didn't. Did you see anything about Vegas, Trey?
No, I think he's on about. I didn't see shit about Vegas. I actually don't know where he's coming from with that.
Yeah,
has he been on the Zar?
Yeah, I'm not sure. If it's something about Vegas, guys, please tell us. I did not see anything about Vegas. Why is there any talk about Brack? He's won now both the challengers. Everyone around him has got some chance. Because main ARs have a tougher time getting in.
Bro, if you're a main AR, like don't think you're getting picked up anytime soon.
Yeah, it's really the truth of the matter. Main ARs are the hardest time to get in the league. That's like the hardest position. If you want to get in the league, you got to just fry as the sub. That's your best chance. Promise you. That's your best chance.
I would say this. Name a main AR that has been picked up mid-season where they've traded out their main. I'm pretty sure we've had pretty much the same main ARs in the league for the past few years, right?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Ghosty was picked up because he had to be picked up, basically.
Yeah, Ghosty got picked up because he had to been.
I think the last was probably Insight though. Beans was Beans actually the one? Beans or Insight? It's Beans or Insight. Wait, I had someone.
My point is, my point is that if you're an AR, this goes to any AR player or anything like that. Don't think you might have the. And Beans only came in because Zin retired.
True. Again, these are forced. These like forced swaps, basically.
Yeah.
So wait, I wanted to address.
But like,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, compare ARs to sub players who gets picked up. It's by far like it's impossible.
Yeah, it's astronomical. If you fry as a main AR versus you fry as a sub, if you fry as a sub, you're getting picked up way higher chance than you're frying as main AR. Do you think personalities could clash with Pierce and Lamar? No. I think Pierce, I spoke to him recently. Pierce is a very different person and player than who he was before. And also, we did 2 interviews. I released one of the interviews. There's another one I can release. I might put it out there just because. But he talks about going to his mental health, taking care of it, going to therapy these days, identifying what made him tick, identifying why he was a tough teammate, and like being able to empathize with others and his teammates now because of his time literally focused on his mental health and focused on therapy to figure out what made him a bad teammate. Specifically, that's what he said in the interview. So if you guys want me to put that out, I can put that out for you guys to see like the difference in Pierce's character. But I was sitting with him, talking with him. I was hanging out with Pierce probably like 30 minutes. He seems like a different player. He honestly seems like a guy who's ready, a lot more calm and collected. And even playing the game, you can see in his gameplay, he's a lot more peaceful with his teammates. He's very calm in the game. Yeah, I'm excited if Pierce can get back in the league, to be honest with you. This guy, the clarification from Capone was, no, sorry. What I mean is if ROKKR goes with Lamar, Gunless, Asim, and Lins, does that move them above Vegas? That's an interesting take.
See, these are questions that you can't really even answer until you watch them play.
That's true. Yeah, it really comes down it really comes down to
because like if you told me LAG were going to place top 6 at the major based on their roster compared to other people's, I'd have told you no. But like it's one of these things where we just have to lock in, get prepared for major 3 and see how these teams do.
Yeah, true. Agreed. I think it's up in the air on this one. Really, it all depends how Purge plays and how the new ROKKR team meshes, honestly. And then Revive says Gunless was a main for his roster. He was a main, but Gunless with his time in the league was a flex. So when I spoke to Gunless about why he switched, this was like a year ago or something like that, he said it was because on his challenges rosters, he felt like he couldn't be in the mix, or else he didn't know what was going on and he couldn't like direct people essentially. So he switched to a main because in challengers he needed to be the guy like looking over everyone and telling them, directing traffic. Let me make it simple. Directing traffic in there. So he could. I'm 100% sure that he can switch to flex and not have a problem. Why is Gunless getting overlooked over Bracked? Because, like we said before, when we talk about the challenger stuff, Gunless has a higher ceiling and proven in the CDL, and his time in the CDL was actually very prosperous compared to Brack's, which didn't go too well.
Not even the CDL, CWO too.
Sorry, yeah, CWO. You're right. That's correct.
Yeah.
Let me scroll down. Picked up.
Is Real getting a chance over for Metals? Real will be coming in. That's not even like. I don't even think that's a rumor. That's just gonna like, bro. They just went. They've 0 and 12 map counter at LAN. Like if you don't change, then
0 and 12, terrible online, and you have a guy who got we're talking about player cards, who got a 58 player card, and then they dropped their bench player. Real's coming in, bro. I don't like.
Yeah, let's not. Also, this Gunless thing. Let's not make it out like Gunless didn't get shafted out the league because he had an illness. He got unwell and shafted out the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lion Man's in it. Yeah, the player cards, Lion Man. The player cards. I love them though. They obviously people look at the player cards. Like ZooMaa said, like people have made teams based on the player card, but they have some good information on them, bro. So keep doing you, Lion. Keep doing you. Also, I got your tweet up right now with the journey thing.
Let me scroll down here. The tweet with the journey. Yeah. So this was the thing of journey, right? Journey got released. Eric Boom played terribly. We saw Real tweet out that he got his visa approved. No one's approving his visa for him to come to America and just kick it, right? Like he's not coming to just kick in the Misfits facility and feed up, get some Powerade like I did, and just chill in the back of the facility like, vamos, guys. Like, that's not happening, bro. He's here to play.
Listen, in my opinion, we spoke about this last week, but in my opinion, if Real didn't get his visa sorted out, Journey would have been on the roster. Because Real got his visa sorted, they've dropped Journey, like fully got rid of his contract, terminated his contract. Journey will be probably flying back to Spain or something like that. And then I assume Real.
Well, we actually have Journey joining that 5 media team, the Spanish team, in replacement of, I think it was Sucre. It was Sucre and one other guy they dropped, and then they swapped him in there. So, yeah, he's Journey will be fine. He's going to be on a good Challengers team. We'll see more of him in the Challenger side. So if you watch Challenger streams, you care about Challengers, you'll see Journey playing some more. But, yeah, Real's definitely going to come in. I think Real's going to be good. It really depends if that Miami Heretics team decides to change up the way they play COD. Like Trey says, Vamos COD does not work. Spanish COD is very inconsistent. So it's up to Real to come in and really make some noise. Let's jump over to this last one. I think this is probably one of the most, again, another polarizing one in the community. Tommy was the one who leaked this one out. But from Chris's Hidden, via sources, Boston Breach are dropping Asim and Slasher for Beans and Pentagram. I'm going to start with this reaction. What the fuck are you talking about? What? I definitely do not understand this change. The team was playing obviously poorly. But if this is true, and Slasher and Asim are the 2 that got dropped off that team, someone's going to need to book me a flight because I'm going to have to square up with some Boston management. Who wants to smoke? I know no one on that squad can take me and Slasher in hand-to-hand combat. Ain't a single one of y'all. I'm grabbing Snoopy with this arm. I'm grabbing Priesta with this arm. I'm grabbing Denz with my teeth. And I'm walking through while Slasher just pummels down the facility. Because this is insane, bro. I think this is probably the most faded thing I've ever seen. It's very criminal. I think Asim was a critical part in the respawns of why they were winning some respawns. I think Slasher was the only one in S&D really doing, obviously 100% their IGL and the one doing things in S&D. I'm mind blown. Honestly, truly mind blown at this decision.
I'm just reading the chat, bro.
Yeah, they're tripping on me acting wild. It's all good, though.
I mean, listen, let's be real. They're dead last in the CDL. They're dead last in the CDL, bro. Something's got to change. Dropping Asim?
And just
I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Listen, they're having a major change over there. Big changes. I mean, Ace, I feel like some people are listening. We said if the team starts doing bad, we've got to start looking at coaches, and I'm pretty sure they're making a coaching change over there too. Ace, we might be speaking some facts these days.
They don't believe us, man. They really think we just talking crazy, but I don't know, man. On this show, we're not nothing faded. We're talking the truth here. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm trying to get that coaching change tweet because I actually missed that one. Let me pop that one up as well. I know Rab replied to it. That's why I'm going to Rab's Twitter to grab that one. Oh, yeah. The Scrim Intel tweeted this one. Here it is. But, yeah, Boston, not only did we get this tweeted out via sources, but we also have this tweet as well that Boston Breach are making a coaching change, which would mean that Zed, in likelihood, is out. But Trey, in your opinion, do you think you can blame this on the coach?
No, I've never said blame the coach in any aspect because I know how COD is. The players kind of are their own coaches in that aspect. The players come up with a game plan, the coach just helps out. But my point is that if things are going so bad, why not try a whole change? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not do as much as you can? And let's not make it out like listen, the coaches put together these teams. Let's be real. They choose the players. They choose like who they see best fit. They've put together a terrible team.
I agree.
They put together a terrible team. You know, if we want to start taking it more seriously and stuff like that, if you know, look at other sports and stuff like that. Is, you know, if a team's playing bad, they look at players that they can sub out or like try new players, and if that don't work, then they look at the manager. You know.
Yeah.
They look at the coach. They look at the manager, and yeah, I mean, I feel like they're going for a full revamp here. So I mean, fuck. Yeah, I didn't get no shout. I didn't get no email, so it must have been me. I was waiting for an email. I didn't get it. I was checking my junk. I was making sure I had the right email on my bio on Twitter, but I didn't get no shout. But
it's let's watch this again. PD tells me to watch this clip from Tommy as well. Again, Tommy was they were going rogue. They were Mr. Leak and everything. So let's watch what this is. Apparently this is regarding the Boston switch and all that. So let's take a look here.
But yeah, I think that's all there is for now. There's a few more. There's more teams that I'm waiting on. I'm surprised they haven't been leaked out.
What team are you
on? Boston is one. I mean, Vince literally just my cousin texted me like the words out. I thought bro, if I get texted by my cousin Vince and he knows what the fuck is going on, I just expect to be more announcements here. Also Vegas. I'm expecting maybe his team change with Vegas with Purge. That's another team.
You think Vegas is making a change
for Purge? Yeah.
You think 100%?
No, not 100%. I don't know. I don't know anything. I just fucking wait for the rumors. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say 100% because I don't know if they're actually making a change. But I mean, if they wanted to win, I would expect them to make a change there. I mean, would you make a change? If you're Vegas.
Again, I point out the fact that when Tommy says the Purge needs to get swapped, no one's roasted him. I say the same shit. And I'm fighting for my life in the Misfits facility, dodging strays, dodging bullets from Rab and Trey in the chat. Like, bro.
Yeah, but if Tommy said this in front of me, I'd have done the same thing.
I know it's about the chat though. I expect you guys to have whatever opinion, but the chat going crazy. I feel like it's very clear cut that in my opinion, for them to win, they're on the cusp of winning. They're the best core three of any team that's below the bottom four. To me, that's the best core three, 100% at this point. They just need a fourth piece. Bring in anyone.
People need to understand in the chat as well that like behind the scenes stuff and everything like that, like you guys don't really know. Like Ace knows. I was a pro player for 9 years. Like I know the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. I know what it's like to deal with all this kind of stuff. So like the opinions you guys have, like they're opinions, but like listen, when me and Ace tell you that like they're wrong because we know.
Yeah.
Like same with ZooMaa, same with all these. We know what it is behind the scenes. So when you guys like say like, oh no, that's not it, this isn't it. When we're telling you that like this is it, like we deal with this every single day. We know what goes on. So you know, I see a lot of things in the chat, and I'm just here to clear it out for you guys that like we know what's going on.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And the Capone's on form iLLeY would be discussed. No, I mean, Capone, please, this is one of those things that people will just be spewing. They would have a sub player. They would need a sub player, not a iLLeY's not a sub player. So let's just be clear about that. But I think there might be. Did you say about Boston too? Let me play the clip for another like 30 seconds. I think there might be a little more.
Legion, would you make a change for Purge? Would you make a change?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't play.
You don't know.
Bro, it's weird. They weren't playing that bad before the event, and they just lost. Like, they obviously had a tough draw against fucking Toronto. They beat Seattle pretty soundly, and then they lost a Game 5, Round 11 to Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Carolina pretty much was pretty good search of that event. So, like, I don't know.
Attach said they're not changing on stream. I don't know if I'm getting one guide by KJ, but he said Attach said no.
Is it true that Attach said on stream that they're not changing? Is that true, Chad? I think someone else said. I saw one guy earlier during our show say it too. But is that true? Attach said they're not changing? Do we have confirmation of that? Because
change on stream.
The only thing I'll say, we talked about this on the show, Tom, with Vegas, is like they
I would have heard that before.
Last split was their easiest split because this split they got off.
We're not
3 days later
on their side.
We're not changing.
They got
Asim's
in New York, so it's like they're they're gonna get now 3
Attach
probably
said
L's
on
in each
stream,
split.
they're
Like, they
not
can't do the
changing it, that's what
5-2
I'm saying
bullshit
on
again
that.
and make winners brackets. So I don't know. If I'm Vegas, like, there's no point of rolling the dice with the team right now because I thought they played pretty good this split. I think as long as they like can play better S&D at events, like they're gonna get top 6s and make.
I didn't see anything about it, but yeah.
I mean, again, so if he said it, okay, let's just go with the chat here because we're on the chat side. We love the dope check chat, of course. If he said that, no problem. It makes sense why they wouldn't want to change given the success they had online, and they played decently on LAN. They could have they had a chance to close it out, their match on LAN. They didn't. It happens, right? It happens. And they got just kicked out of they fucking lost, whatever. They could do another stage. They're in a good spot now to actually make champs, so there's no exact reason to do it. So I get it. Vegas, I get why you're going to stay, but in my personal opinion and Tommy ZooMaa's personal opinion, Purge needs to go for you to have a chance to crack higher and have the potential to win champs or take a tourney. That's my point.
I think if Asim's on the market, you just take him.
Yeah, you put him on a sub and just take him? Or you leave him on a sub?
Listen, I don't think Vegas should change, but if they're going to take everything, if they're going to take anyone to change for Purge for like the dirty work shit, then you take Asim. I think that's an upgrade in that aspect.
I think Hixie. If
OMiT
are dropping that, bro, if OMiT are saying we will let people come in and trial, I'm fucking Hixie for Purge today. I'll cut my wrist and say it. Blood on the contract right now. Do it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at. Let's look at everything realistically here.
Okay, tell me realistically.
Let's look at it realistically. Okay. I can't put a European player on any team right now because I don't know the situation with the visas. Right,
but OMiT's saying they'll help.
But it's not that easy though, because you still got to get a visa.
But they're saying they'll help.
Team Scrim Tuesday, bro. We haven't got time. We just don't listen. Time. We just don't have time, Ace.
If Hixie can go to Toronto and play out of there, that will work for the time being.
But my point is, Ace, I think it's easier to get a work permit if you're French due to some like fucking
some friendship cheese, some Canada, some Canada France friendship cheese. I got you, bro.
Listen, I would put. There's a reason I'm putting I would put Hixie on a lot of teams. There's a reason I put Weeman on a lot of teams, Beans, all those kind of people. But like, I just look at it realistically. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at it realistically.
Going back to Boston though, yeah, if they really dropped Asim and Slasher, yeah, I mean at that point you're denying a certified world champ and one of your best players clearly for the franchise tagged 18-year-old that's lost and respawns and got 1v3'd. And was part of the reason why they got 1v3'd on that terminal that flipped the whole tournament for them. I'm just saying coaching decisions are being made that are... personally, I'm going to say one last thing about this Boston Breach team, and I'm pretty much done with that. Pretty much. I don't think that Zed or Dens or Slasher are the ones who are saying, let's latch on to Snoopy. I think this has to be an organizational thought that we have put so much effort, so much marketing, so much, Monterrey, Mexico, watch party cheese into this kid. We can't just let him go and give up on him early because I'm not a pro Call of Duty player, right? I've never been pro. I've competed, and I've watched a lot, and I've learned from the best. I've learned from the people that you guys say are the best minds in COD. I can tell you that Zed and Dens and Slasher and Asim and Priesta can watch this kid and say, he is not playing that well for us. The organization is who I think are keeping him there. And if that comes at the cost of Asim and Slasher, that's so stupid. And Boston Breach organization needs to really look into themselves and think, what's our priority here? A franchise tag on a kid who's not doing much for us, or is it the certified winners and Call of Duty players in our org? That's all I have to say.
It's a weird one, bro. It's a weird one.
It is.
It is. It is a weird one. Now, if we're dropping Asim for Snoopy, I think. Listen, Snoopy's gross, all right. But if we're doing this, like, if we're gonna make Snoopy the face or whatever like that, I don't know. I just don't see how this team is bottom of the league and like they've just picked up Asim and they're just dropping him. You know what I'm saying?
I agree 100%. To me, it's nonsense. The only modes you were pretty much winning, they were doing well in hard points. Asim was critical in those. Asim was doing well in controls. S&D, he wasn't playing that well, but Slasher had that for you. And again, the whole tournament took a turn when Snoopy was laying down in the wrong spot in terminal. That's all I gotta say. He was laying down in sights in terminal, dies, and then they get 1v3, and the entire tournament that they were playing decently at just twists. So to me, I think this rumor is insane. I think if this is true, it's insane. And Boston Breach need to really think about what's going on. But if Beans, Pentagram, Priesta, and Snoopy can make some noise, guys, I will come on this stream shirt off, and I'll do a whole stream just titties out. Like, I guess I have to, right? I'll sit there and accept it for what it is, honestly.
Slasher for fellow, what do you think?
Are you... What? Bro, the roles are different. They're not the same player. They're not the same type of leader.
He is called Flying High, so he's definitely on some sort of Zaza type shit, you know what I'm saying?
Dog, you need to lock in and super duper lock it in, bro. Holy hell.
He just goes, I'm on Mars.
yeah. I think Seattle or LAG would make the most sense. Seattle, if Slasher's dropped, Adam Assault for Slasher with that team, Diamond Con, Slasher, Estriel, and Fame, that shit might go hard, to be honest.
Yeah, but LAG ain't making no change. Listen, LAG are 1,000,000% solidified throughout the whole year. They are not making no change because they have to pay money and they do not want to pay any extra. Do not expect that. LAG could go 0-7. The only change I'd make is bring in Flames.
Bring in Flames instead of Fame?
That's the only thing they can do is bring in Flames because they already got him as a sub.
Bro, what is this thing? MN pick up Slasher and move Lamar to coach? What are y'all talking about? Dude, the chat's Blizzardy, these are all people like Gersh and Blizzardy all saying bench Lamar now. Nah, we're trolling here. We're super trolling now. But yeah.
I think a Slasher in Minnesota could be kind of fire though.
But then that's an odd Slasher Lamar is kind of weird.
Not Minnesota. Sorry, Seattle. I'm reading your chat too. I'm reading the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Slasher. I think Slasher in Seattle could be kind of fire too.
That's right. Yeah, Seattle or LAG, only two possible.
Yeah. LAG is not even possible.
Oh, I know. I'm saying like the only places where it makes sense, hypothetically, would be him going to Seattle. Obviously, swap. You have Alec now. You bring him in. Abuzi your second. 0-4. And then either Cobra or Hook, whoever it ends up being.
Imagine iLLeY comes back, bro. iLLeY, Slasher, Cobra, Abuser.
That'd be pretty gross. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be pretty gross.
Yo, I should be a fucking GM, bro.
Hey man.
We do it for. To be fair,
we're doing it for free, bro.
Free. Yeah.
We're doing this for free. We're literally giving out the sauce for free, bro.
We are, bro. We're doing this for free.
This is insane. But yeah, no, 3 ARs. I mean, technically, Abuza's not an AR technically right now. Technically, he's flex. He's a flex technically.
Wait, is Cobra's a sub? Is he not? I thought Cobra was a sub. If he's an AR, then chalk that roster. My bad. I thought he was a sub.
Yeah, chat's on your head right now, bro.
That's fine. My bad,
chat's
boys.
on your
My
head.
Bad. My bad, guys. My bad.
Literally, the whole chat is spam.
Right. Listen. Bring in Huke. Bring in Huke.
Spam,
Bring in Huke. Bring in Huke. Bring in Huke. Bring in Huke. Keep Huke.
Okay.
Fuck Cobra. Fuck Cobra. Bring in Huke.
But yeah.
And yes, Abuser is mainly an AR. I don't know why they put him on a sub this year, but if we're gonna go down that route, and maybe they're putting all their eggs into the Abuser basket.
Last thing I'm gonna say here, the last thing I want to react to, and this is the last thing I'm gonna react to at all, guys. Nadeshot reveals Simp wanted to join 100 Thieves before playing for United. That's the one thing I want to. Let's watch the clip one time. I just want to react to this one
Simp
time.
really wanted to join.
How different would history be if Simp went to 100 Thieves instead of joining that EU roster, the United roster?
Join 100 Thieves?
Really?
Yeah, no bullshit. When he was on United, or not, before he went to United, he was DMing me, but he wasn't 18, and I don't even know if I ended up responding to it, bro. Now that I think about it.
For your 100 Thieves team, who would you drop for Simp?
Any one of you, it doesn't matter.
I know your old team, but that works too.
How much is it worth to you? I can be bought. No, I think you guys are good, bro. I don't think Simp's coming over here. Honestly, yo, you guys place a little higher than 19. You guys gave the boys a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, that's a different. He wasn't 18, so it really doesn't change the course of history too much. But it's still a crazy possibility that he's crazy timeline switch. If he just sat out, didn't go to United, waited it out, and then at 18 joined 100T or LAT or no 100T at the time, and just the course of history would have changed. But yeah, I don't know. Today, day by day, what?
It's impressive that a lot of these things happen. Like, what was it? A lot of things could have been different. Like, FaZe wouldn't pay 10K for a BZ.
Yeah.
Like, you know, ZooMaa wanted a BZ and they wouldn't pay 10K for a BZ. Now then a BZ joins, you know, E United and then wins champs with Simp and Clay, and you know what I'm saying? Like, the history could have been changed. Like, listen, we might have not even got to see. We could have been saved. There might have never been no Simp or BZ duo, and we'd never got to see them play. And we could have been saved, and I wouldn't have got pissed on in Vanguard by him.
The league would have been fair. We wouldn't have had such top-heavy teams. We would have had a FaZe, a BZ on different teams, and we wouldn't have this kind of top-heavy league that we have now.
There'd be no tiny terrors.
Yeah, no, that life would have been different, man. But
they probably would have got a tool player, and it would have been like Big Cook, Little Cook, or something.
You're a fucking idiot, bro. Holy shit. What, guys? Is there any last? You know, we have. You know, we're on here. Is there anything else? Any other last things we didn't cover? I feel like we got it all. I think we covered all the rumors. I feel like we took care of business here. Trey, any last thoughts, last words? Chat while he's giving his last words, last thoughts. If you have Q&As or any things about these rosters you want to put forward, let me know. But Trey, last words, last thoughts on these rosters for Major 3 side. What's going on in your head?
I'm very excited for Major 3 just because of these changes. I mean, I was excited anyway just because we're getting into the crunch time now where anyone can make champs. Well, we've got 4 spots left for champs, basically. 4 spots. Anyone can make it. We check the standings real quick. I'll bring mine up. We check the standings real quick. Like, it's going to be a serious, like, grind for all these teams now. We've got a guaranteed top 4 of New York, Texas, Ultra, and FaZe. They're guaranteed top 4. And then we got, you know, it's going to be a tough road for Boston. Whatever change they make, they need to do it. They need to lock it in quick. They need to do it now. I don't know if the change they're making is the correct one, but listen, I'm all here for it. And then that just creates more drama, more talk, more dope check episodes that last 75 hours.
Here's one solid question. I think there's two valid questions. Ideally, who does Carolina get for fellow if they start bad in qualifiers? I think you get, is my opinion, I think you get Asim. Put him on AR, and
I think Asim on an AR is fire.
Yeah,
I love
Clay,
Asim on AR.
Clay, Asim, Gwyn, and TJ. I think that would work in my opinion, just because Clay and those guys like to play with people they've played with before. So it'd be a veteran roster that guys who they know are reliable and not weird, and they would just go running around. Would it be better? I don't know if it would be better. So like that's not what I'm giving you guys here, but I'm just saying that's who I think they would go for. Yeah, I don't know if they would drop him. I don't know what would happen, but that's what I think. The second thing that I saw here that was interesting was some teams might start breaking the GA snake. Oh, okay. Street League. You got to come for Monday's show. When Rab's here, we're going to go into the drama of the Snake GA. What Draza said on stream, right? We're going to go into all that on Monday in Dope Check. This is at episode 13 and a half. Monday will be episode 14. And we'll go in depth on the drama side. We wanted to keep it when it was just Trey and I to the rosters, the CDL stuff, the players. We wanted to keep it kind of limited here on purpose. But Monday, all the drama will be right back with when Rab is back. So trust me, we want to get into that as well. But that, I think it does it. Let me see. Guys, the last thing I'm going to say is I love you guys. That we had, we topped around pretty much right under 500 people in here on a random Friday where last minute we pushed this out. The support for Dope Check, the support for Breaking Point has been unbelievable. Unbelievable since we started the show. We broke our biggest Breaking Point's live stream record in Miami. The viewership has just gone steadily up. The videos have been popping off, over 10K every video now. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, truly, that you've made this show a success, and we're going to continue to bring you guys more content. We're doing the show twice a week right now, the pre-show on Fridays, the main show on Mondays. So that's going to be consistent through the rest of the season. We love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Dope Check to the moon. Breaking Point to the moon. From Trey and I, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. West Coast time. I believe that's 8 p.m. London time, UK time, for Dope Check episode 14. Rab will be back. I will be here. Trey will be here. We are out. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.